All right. I'm about to do something that's either crazy awesome or just plain crazy. And we won't know the answer to that question until the end of the episode. What is it that I am going to do? I am thinking about painting this fridge. Yes. I'm thinking about painting this fridge. I know, it's crazy. I want to give a big thank you to Wild Grain for making this crazy idea of mine possible. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them in just a second. So here's the deal. Our fridge is 18 years old. It's got broken shelves. It's missing some shelves. It doesn't have the amount of space inside that fit the dimensions like in the newer ones. So if I'm ever going to try to do something this crazy, I'm going to try it on an appliance that is like on its way out, because if it fails for some reason, if it looks terrible, which I hope it doesn't, you know, I don't feel too bad that I've done this on a brand new appliance. This is gonna be our sacrificial lamb, if you will. This all came to be because I have been looking at new fridges, and the ones that I like are either like the built-in kind, and I think that that would look really, really nice, but those are crazy expensive, like $10,000, not including the cabinet door. I was like, no. And I found one that was like $6,000. I mean, like that's $4,000 less, but $6,000 for a fridge is still crazy. But it was beautiful, and it was kind of like a matte black, and it had the brass accents. And I have a range hood planned right next to it that's gonna be black with brass accents. And I thought, well, that would really tie the two together, and how fun would that be? So I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can DIY this and just see how it goes. Maybe it will turn out amazing. So I started scouring the internet and Pinterest to see if anybody else had tackled something like this, and I did come across a tutorial that was super, super helpful, and so I will link that in the description box below. My fridge is a little bit different than hers. I think that we can still kind of do the same concept, hopefully. I just don't even know if this is gonna work, because we've got a couple of like blemishes here. They're not really bad, but I didn't know if that would show up or not. I think we're gonna just do it, and what's the worst that could happen? It usually works out, right? Okay, so let's get going. We're gonna do a good scrub down. I mean, it's clean, but I think I want it to be really clean and make sure the sides are clean and all the top's clean, dust free, and then I will show you the paint. Now we're gonna start disassembling the fridge. We need to remove the handles. We're gonna remove the GE logo because we don't want people to know that it's a GE. It will help it paint easier. And then we're gonna do some taping off and a little bit of prep work. Now I am gonna be opening my fridge, and you will notice that it is not Pinterest worthy. I don't know how people do that. I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful and aesthetic, but that to me is not a real life fridge. So here we go. Let's disassemble. Okay, I just am sliding this underneath. It's supposed to be able to pop off. Okay, so I might need to use like a heat gun or some rubbing alcohol to get that residue off. So we'll work on that, but it did come off. Okay, that got off a lot, but I think we need to finish it off with some more acetone. Gone. I mean, it's totally smooth. I don't feel anything, even though you can kind of see like an outline. Can't feel anything, so I think we'll be fine. Now we're gonna remove the fridge handles, and you need a little Allen wrench to be able to do that. There's a little hole right here on the handle. Hopefully, I picked the right size. There we go. Boom. So we got that off. We've got some cleaning to do here, but let's get the other one off. We did it. Okay, now I need to go find my Athena drill, and we'll unscrew these, or maybe we'll leave them on for just a second. Well, can I open it from here? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go find my Athena drill. World's best drill. How could they already be stripped? Like I didn't even do anything. Our first hurdle. Let's see if we can loosen them up with some pliers. Ooh, I did it. I did it. A drill wasn't gonna work because they're all stripped out. I have to show you something, and it's in here. It's a little science experiment, if you will. Okay, there it is. Ooh, that does not look good. This, I don't think that looks right. This represents about a month of my life, maybe a little bit more. I grew a little sourdough starter from scratch, and I nurtured it and loved it, and it took for flippin' ever to finally activate. And then when it finally activated, I tried to make sourdough bread. They're like, it's so easy to make sourdough bread, and I'm actually a pretty good baker. Well, it was not so easy. I tried and tried and tried, and I just couldn't get the hang of it. And honestly, it was too much work, too much time. It was like having another child. I really love sourdough bread. I think it's healthy. The fermentation process really lowers the gluten, and I love the way it tastes and all of that. There's got to be an easier way. Enter in Wild Grain. Thank you so much to Wild Grain for sponsoring this portion of the episode and saving me from my experiment gone wrong, and still giving me healthy, fresh bread. In the other part of my freezer, I've got a couple of things. Well, first of all, Wild Grain is a subscription-based box, and they use local bakeries to fulfill all of these orders. They deliver to you a frozen sourdough bread that will bake up in like under 25 minutes. In my initial box, I had a couple of different kinds of pasta, several different kinds of bread, which I baked up, and they were amazing. They were so good. The pasta was so good. We cooked that up. I cooked up a ciabatta bread that was really good. My family really loved it. And then right here, we have some giant chocolate chunk cookies. So literally, throw it in the oven, bake it up. In under 25 minutes, you will have hot, fresh, homemade sourdough bread without this science experiment, without all of the time dedication. If you are like me and you love sourdough bread and you love baked goods, but you just don't have the time, definitely give Wild Grain a try. The other cool thing is you can build your own box and get really what you think you will use. I really like the idea of supporting the local bakeries that they use. Also, with every new membership, they donate 4 meals to charity, so I really love that. If you click on the link below and use my coupon code, you will get $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box, and those are really good. They're not low gluten, but they are sure good. So in the meantime, let's throw this in the oven, and then we'll get back to the project, and then we'll do a little taste test a little later. Time to part with the science experiment. I think it's time.
We're on another adventure. We're headed to Utah, and you're gonna see why in just a second.
Okay, so I've been thinking about it, and I just don't think we're gonna notice like the stuff when you open it. I mean, I guess when you open it, you'll notice it. I think it would be a really good idea if we weren't using this every day, and I could put it out of commission for a week or two to cure. So I've decided not to paint my face framing, but if you are able to use a backup fridge, or if you have another one, I think I would do that. But where we're gonna be using this every day, I don't think it's gonna have the amount of time to cure that I would like before it seals the fridge off, if that makes sense. We're gonna still paint like this part here because we can close that and it will still be able to dry. It's not touching anything. So there we go. Okay, so we are ready to start painting, and I have to tell you, when I went into Sherwin-Williams to get the paint guy asked me what I was doing for a project, and he gave me the hairy eyeball, and he was like, come again? And then he recommended this Extreme Bond primer for its exceptional adhesion for hard to stick surfaces. So we're gonna use it to prime the exterior. Then we decided to use an exterior grade paint, and this is actually the same paint that I used on my front door. It actually is not stinky at all, but I think it will withstand a little bit more abuse than interior paint. And this is in the color Caviar, and Emerald is their top of the line quality paint. This stuff is super, super thick, and we're gonna do several coats. So I'm gonna change. I know I'm a messy painter. I'm gonna go change into paint clothes, and then we're gonna start priming it. Are we scared? I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. Here we go, here goes nothing. No turning back now. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's all vote now. Is this an epically great idea, or is this gonna turn out really bad and I'm gonna regret it? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you have faith in me? I don't even know if I have faith in me. This looks really, really bad, but primer always looks bad, so I'm holding on to hope. Oh, good. I'm glad you're here, because I'm sure the $1 million question that everybody is wondering is, what is her husband thinking of her painting their stainless steel fridge? So, thoughts? He's speechless.
So, what's the plan?
We're gonna paint it black, and then I'm gonna put really cool brass handles on it.
Have you ever heard of anyone painting a fridge?
Well, I did a little research, yes.
You never let me down.
All right.
It always looks good.
All right. Let's hope it stays that way. Careful, I don't want you to get paint all over. I'm just sitting here looking at my first coat of primer, and I'm questioning my sanity. But at least I have a delicious piece of fresh baked bread. There's nothing more comforting than that in your time of need. Oh yeah, this could take your cares away. So good. I'm here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I am going to be doing an appearance on Studio 5, which is a TV show here, and then I'm doing some business stuff as well, so we're excited. My daughter is picking me up, and I'm gonna visit with her. What are we doing?
Getting our toes done.
Pedicure time. I even talked my dad into it. And there's Mama Bear. He's dying inside, but he's gonna love it.
Hey, so.
He's a little ticklish. Okay, so I'm here on the Studio 5 set. This is home. Now, many of you may not know this because it was pre-YouTube era, but I used to do regular segments here on Studio 5, and I had a reason that I had to come out here for some business stuff, so I reached out to them and said, do you want another segment? And so that's what we're doing today. So this is so much fun. It feels like I'm coming home, and I'm so excited to share my projects here on Studio 5. I've got my entourage over here, just kidding. My daughter and my mama, and Papa Bear over there.
Won't let you touch me, won't let you go to my head, 'cause I know I'm dealing with the devil. But I'm standing with my heart in your hand, and I'm too deep into this gamble. Hold me towards you.
It was so much fun. fun to be on Studio 5 again and see Brooke and meet Courtney. And what we discussed on that episode is how to get that high-end look for less, emulate the high-end things, and that's exactly what we're doing on this episode. So if you're interested in seeing my Studio 5 segment, I will be sure to post that over on my community tab. So go check that out and watch it if you're interested. And then in the meantime, we've got our project to get back to, and we gotta see if I'm actually gonna be able to pull this off. I don't know. It was looking pretty sketchy. Okay, so I'm gonna do just a really light sanding with some 220 grit. I hope it's not too intense. I'm just gonna focus on the front because the sides are already bumpy, and I'm just gonna mainly do the front where we want it extra smooth. We're trying all kinds of new things. Hopefully this works. This is just after our first coat of black paint. And as you can see, it's got really good coverage, but it will look so much better after a few more. Not wait long enough to wet sand, so this is what happened. So just keep that in mind. All right, it's the next morning, and I did 2 coats of primer yesterday and 2 coats of paint, and now we're gonna do probably just 1 more coat of paint on the front, and then we are gonna install some really cool handles. The first thing I'm gonna do is I actually found a 300 grit sanding block, and I'm gonna just do a really light sand on the front here, and then we'll get painting. She's looking good. This might work out after all. So now we need to add some new handles, and I'm going to be using this, and guess what it is? It is a towel bar, and as you can see, like on this end, it is loose. And so we're going to make it into a solid piece like this. I've already tested it out by using some JB Weld steel stick. Then we're going to JB Weld it to the doors. I'm just gonna hold it up so you can see, isn't that pretty? It's gonna be so good. So I'm gonna show you how we do this real quick. You're gonna definitely want to wear some gloves to protect your hands because this stuff is not meant to touch the skin. Okay, so then you're gonna take your steel stick and pop it open. And we're gonna cut off enough for both ends, we hope. And then you stick it immediately back in to the tube and seal that. So you can see that it has kind of a black center and gray on the outside, and we need to kind of knead it. So once we knead this in, this will activate it, so it will become really, really hard. So we need to keep kneading it until it's all one color. And this is kind of stinky stuff, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so it's turning into like a dark charcoal color. So I'm gonna divide this in half. What I'm gonna do is we want this to be permanently affixed. So I'm just gonna very carefully, just on the end here, wrap this, and we have like a wet wipe handy because we don't want that to stay there. As soon as you get it there, wipe it up immediately. And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other end. Then, while it's still wet, you're gonna press it on a flat surface so that it is nice and aligned, and then you just let it sit for an hour. It does set up a little bit in 5 minutes, so it does cure really quickly, but within an hour, it should be good to go. So now it's time to attach our handles that are towel bars. Let's hold them up just so you can kind of envision it. Isn't that gonna be amazing? Okay, it's gonna be the same JB Weld steel stick. And the reason I decided to do this is just because it sets up a lot faster and it has 4,000 pounds per square inch of hold. And so I thought that that would be really sturdy. We're gonna do a generous amount. And again, it's just the same process as before, but just in a little bit larger quantity. So I got 2 sticks to complete this entire project, and I think they're about, I wanna say I got them in the $6 range for a stick. So, okay, doesn't smell very good. This is what it looks like. Massage it, work it in until it's all the same color. You can see these little silver things. That's what we're gonna attach the putty to, because in theory, if we can get those to stick to the fridge, then we can unscrew it at times if we need to remove the bar for anything. So I'm gonna do a glob there and the same thing on the other side. We're gonna put these holes facing the inside. We're gonna try to line this up, and then once we get this lined up, we'll line up the other one with it. Push it till it's flat and flush. It's sticking pretty good. I don't know if I have any of that on my hands, so I'm just gonna get a washcloth and just wash anything that I think may have it on it. Okay. That looks really good. Okay, we're gonna just repeat that process with the other one, but first I'm gonna dry this off because we don't wanna put it on a wet surface. So at the beginning of the episode, I said this is either gonna be crazy or crazy awesome. And you'll have to be the judge of that for yourself. But as for me, I think it is crazy, crazy awesome. I love it. The finish on it is so pretty. Actually, on camera, it's showing a little bit lighter and maybe grayer than it actually is. It's actually a very rich black. It's got some warmth to it though. And I love these gold towel bars that I got, and I'll link those below. The only thing that I'm not a super fan of is this gray panel, but there's nothing I can really do about that. And so it is what it is, and I'm thrilled. The one question that still remains though is how will this hold up with time? So if you are watching this now, I will keep you up to date on how it holds up with time. If you're watching this 6 months to a year from now, in the description box, I'll try to update how it's holding up as well as within videos. This looks so beautiful, and I cannot wait to now do my range hood that's gonna be in that same tones. This is the trim that we're gonna be using on that range hood. It matches these handles like so beautifully. I'm super, super excited. We'll use the same paint on that range hood so that everything will be consistent. And I think having that range hood will tie it all together and make it all make sense. But I love this project. What do you think, honey? After it's all said and done.
I cannot believe you did it.
Do you like it?
This looks so good. This looks so good. When you said, like, hey, I'm gonna paint the fridge.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't, I was like, you know what?
You didn't tell me.
I kind of made a funny face to them. It looks great. I mean, it looks really, really good.
Oh,
good job.
Oh, high five. All right, so he loves it. Now, if you want to have access to the most delicious home-baked bread without all of the hassle, make sure you click on the link in the description box below to get your discount on that first box. It's so yummy. I know you're gonna love it. And if you enjoyed this episode, here's another one that I think you'll like as well. And to all of my DIY goddesses out there, you are more powerful than you know. We'll see you next time. Bye.